Oh, look at this.
Towards mid, marteen aggressive in TP's behind. It's SUYGETSU who gets the first. KC end up a man in head. Still marteen though, stuck in enemy lines.
He has a way to disengage here. There are still smokes blocking the path. NAVI yet to route him out of position.
Oh, Hero's completely caught. marteen has not been missing at all. And Ruxic left all alone in defender spawn. At least he'll be able to stop the domination from the Omen. But KC, 2 kills to the goods.
marteen happy to overheat a little bit there. Closing on a milestone amount of kills. On the Omen, of course, as we know him to play the duelist, but I really like this early start from KC with saadhak. Now has the 0-point knife available again, collecting some of that early info. It's not going to spot Ruxic just yet, but as the snakebite flies over back of yellow and the turret takes contact, saadhak might just swing this solo.
Same time though, you've still got many more tools to work with here. Avez having those salvos and every single player ready.
Back in mid, double TP, he's fully sent this. In between the lines, look at KC, so quick to take the B site.
Yeah, but they've identified where marteen is and it's quick to collapse upon, but Elite out of nowhere gets to. Angel's cut off the cross.
Yeah, one back at the very least. It's a 3-on-3 and NAVI do have the slightly better weapons. That's discounting saadhak, but his position in kitchen could be killer and the shots will land. That Shao down. Advantage KC from this position. And looking at the defenders, they're split up and still worried about the captain.
saadhak's doing so much here for KC, and now that those mollies, the utility, get so much more value here.
SUYGETSU just sidestepping his own smoke. NAVI playing with borrowed time. SUYGETSU looking to close the net, and
that's towards A. KC now mostly towards B, but you've also got to be looking at marteen going towards Snowman. That flash was perfect. Ruxic trying to escape here and manages to keep his life. NAVI coming straight back into this one, but it's the players from mid that opens up the site for KC.
Oh, and Avez with one more. The extra details, the pit dropped in. Shao still ahead of this and can interrupt. That's exactly what he does, and as the pit drops, he gets back to cover.
Koala now in position in towards Snowman. That long line of sight, that's exactly where you want the operator, but it misses the first shot. KC have bought themselves a bit of space, but they've found koalanoob at the same time. And now Elite has to try and find a safe space for this spike.
Another one of the differences in the comp is that plant security. KC usually have that affiliation with Harbor, but no Sage, no Gecko, nothing of the sort. You're forced to try and take that extra space. I like the idea for them to go for the switch up again in this fast B play. But as it now falls down to just Elite, a steady pair of hands who steered that BBL ship for most of last year, now on KC, and it's moments like this where you want to see something big from the youngster.
Has safe space here to plant the spike as well. Alarm bot and nanos to work with. Has to find an isolated duel onto at least one of the NAVI players. Fast.
It's just the fight that he looks to toy with. Shao does still have the wingman, and Koala does have a smoke, so it needs to be heads up with this.
Yeah, it's just straight up gunfights. Hasn't used any of the utility. Boss fight found.
Trigger finger there.
I mean, if NAVI really want to clear out this Viper's pit, you have the lockdown on Elite. Killjoy Ultimate would do well to clear out that A side, and that's where the spike is.
He's still a bit timid here. Utility invested, suppression on Ruxic. He'll be unperturbed by the situation, but walks into danger, and danger fires back. saadhak with one, hiro here out in the open, and down the long hallway of kitchen. It's a long road back to the A site for NAVI.
KC find themselves a little pocket of domain to work within, but remember, it was only marteen that was seen, and Avez activates at the right time.
This is getting a little bit chaotic now, and with Avez being able to pick that one up, control is restored. Order maintained as far as KC are concerned. Still Avez coming in late, has the salvos if need be. The wingman can try and make things a little more difficult for the attack to try and digest. It does get the spike to half, but that's where Avez brings us back to reality. Angel dealt with. Last player sat in spawn, it's Shao, and Avez has counter to this double layering of smokes. And sure, the first line of that defense will go down, the toxic screen removed. The question is, with the knife coming back up and all of this extra util in post, is, oh, how do KC want to try and play it? It looks like Marteen wants to go on the offensive. 1,000 and counting as he adds yet another. Still those big ults for Navi to work with, though.
KC need to be careful with those coming back in. Lockdown most importantly. And you can see players ready to try and counteract this and fight in towards screens.
It's brilliant. Armageddon goes in, you've got a fragment there as well, and boom. It just feels like KC are one step ahead in how they're planning out these rounds.
100%. Just double checking mid. Yeah, they're going to think that this is towards A, but unfortunately, utility on B pulls them back.
KC have already bypassed this. saadhak gutting out the site itself, just making sure he has the space for the spike plant. All over from Koala. Navi pretty quick in how they're looking to retake.
At the same time, look at those that post-plant utility. Molly on SUYGETSU, saadhak. I mean, Elite's got some of his own, and Avez even has the salvos. This is going to be really hard for Navi to get through.
It's a kill already, though, from Angel. That softens things up massively. Marteen missing. Not a player yellow side. All of them backed up into main. Fragment out. It was the salvos as well that we saw. It's a bit of a cluster on site right now, but Angel is just sticking this all the way through, holding the line, and KC nowhere to... The walk down mid to frisk KC.
No,
oh, it's info again, but a quick trade. It was only Ruxic walking down long.
At the same time though, right? You get rid of the tail, that's clearing utility gone, and not only that, post-plant utility as well. That could be a really big pick when we look at the post-plant for KC.
Going out.
Angel moving back over towards B. Just clearing out this pocket. Seems like both sides grouping up on A. KC already giving away their steps. The alarm bot contact hit. It's hiro off site. They've still got the thrash and a lot of those key pieces from the previous round.
Yeah, this retake should be pretty strong coming back in. Spike plant going to be successful here, but Navi are coming straight in. They're going to be quick here.
They are immediately on the site. Shao picking up his first. Angel right by his side. Looking like another successful retake. Unless SUYGETSU can do something to stop this, but Navi... Homemade one way that drops in, and Koala goes down on the other side. Elite seem to have the right idea. That was really well read.
It is, and on top of that, that's a massive point to lose if you're Navi. Because Koala's operator, very quick, we all know that, but it's also a part of the map that he can watch and allow Navi to gain information through that. There is 3 for Navi on A, and KC are walking straight into this.
Six spotted the first of those players, but he'll be without the poison cloud to try and face it. Angel goes solo, saadhak taking the duel against the in-game leader on the other side and backtracking his footsteps. Shao into the utility dump. Marteen, aerial, and able to get the pickup. Ruxic still hanging around here though. Playing from below the pipes in the maze, saadhak flashing in. It just feels like wherever Navi try and go, they're isolated, alone, and now removed from the situation. Hiro the next to give a roll of the dice, but you don't feel any better about his odds than what we've seen up until this point, but it starts well.
They're just giving them solo engagements.
It gets better, and Hiro is gonna fall.
Straightforward from KC. This has been a massive pain point for Navi. The entry goes to SUYGETSU once again through that mid duel.
Exactly, and I'm glad you raise it because it's probably the 3rd time in, what, the last 4 rounds that we've seen that first pick come through mid. It's an absolute oasis for KC, but even though they've been picking up these kills, still doesn't feel like they're getting the most value from them.
Interestingly enough, it's Ruxic that has the op here, not Koala. And we're going to get the null command coming straight through. Players won't have the utility to work with, and Ruxic has a little bit of an angle, but can't quite find what he's looking for. And that's an incredible spam.
saadhak just reverse engineering the smoke, plops down the molly, and spike goes in. SUYGETSU still hanging around in middle. Shao does remove him from the situation. Looking at that post-plant utility, KC don't have all too much. They want to fight this on the front foot, but the thrash into the smoke could be huge. How many does it get? Absolutely nothing. Last pistol on the defense. KC did a very good job at highlighting the flank, being super proactive on this defender's side, and already Hero's completely isolated under belt, but calling for backup. There's a brawl going down, and KC draw first blood.
You see it's a brawl, it's more like a beatdown. That flash is perfect though, and the trade's in Navi's favour. Marteen trying to escape, but he's lucky to do just that. Moving towards B though, and KC have a bit of a notification through Elite's alarm bot.
Complete information void on A right now. Navi moving up on long. Steps soon to be heard by Elite. His utility helping dictate the pace of the flow through mid as SUYGETSU has bought a rotation. But the spike is soon to go down and the spam's not landing.
Molly to deny the wingman.
Nah, he's got it.
Yeah, just about.
No problem for the wee man.
Marteen still has that paranoia though. That's the other thing to consider moving into this. And well, as for Navi, the utility is looking pretty barren. It's all about these gunfights, and Navi continue to win them through this round. Marteen, though, still up and alive, and you know just how good he can be. More damage being dealt, although SUYGETSU now having to clutch up another 1 versus 3, and both players are low. This is doable. Shao lucky to escape here. And well, just 100%. It's mid where we'll see this battle start. Elite, though, is the one who gets things off to KC's side, and they've traded things down to still an advantage in their favour. Navi's response towards the A side, Marteen ahead of the mark and will even find the spike, and is buying more time for his teammates to come and support him.
No, how does he get out? How does Marteen do that? 1 versus 3. Make that a 1 versus 4, as Marteen is still somehow alive.
Ruxic needs to go looking for a pick, and it needs to be clean, right? The unfortunate thing is that drone has identified exactly where he is, so he's not going to have much of a chance here.
Not at all. He's now arriving.
SUYGETSU 1 versus 1, but he's not even caught! At least the best is here to try and cut off any rotations, but that's massive from the Turkish controller. What does Navi do to respond to this though?
I mean, the ball is in Navi's court. They're just going to slow the pace all the way down, force KC to make an investment, try and trade out the space on the map. You can see saadhak is looking towards A, but as fate would have it, B is the site under threat, and there's only Elite here to deal with it.
That engagement isn't clean, but at least Kill has got something to work with. All 3 players though, all on their lonesome, and Ruxic once again coming in from mid.
Yeah, sitting in the snow pile, just looking to split this up. Marteen removes him though, and now Navi are the ones with their backs to the wall.
Flashes, have all the utility you could possibly want to come back into this one. Marteen uses the ultimate to try and join up with his teammate, his leader saadhak, as he moves through B long. But Navi have moved forward, they've changed the goalposts, and now KC have got a really tough problem here. Marteen trying to use a smoke to get on to the spike.
The early stage,
He's heard the gecko, but he doesn't know there's another.
he's solo. And Angel just knows it. I think he's seen that one too many times before. Marteen does isolate the lurk, and with that, KC do go level in player numbers. There is a little bit more support on the B side of the map this time as well, though, and the plant is yet to go through.
Yeah, the delay coming through from Karmine Corp to get players into position to flood retake is absolutely massive. But remember, saadhak is only on a pistol.
And that ghost can't do enough to deny, but the rest of KC played in. Aves and Elite from up top, dropping in the stun. Koala gets his though and gets out. 3 on 3, but the playing field is skewed in favor of Navi. Marteen up close, paranoia to the back of yellow. Positioning is so constricted, and that's where KC have a vice grip. Can Angel do any better for us in the clutch? The salvos are up, and the time is ticking on down. Even more onto Elite, 6 points of health, 1 bullet would do it. Way smoke set up, you've got Aves here for contact. KC are perfectly in place, and Navi feel like they're out of options. Shao saving grace though.
That's massive. Ruxic just hanging on the edge. Koala though gets 2 of his own! Marteen out of nowhere! Still Navi one ahead, and SUYGETSU nowhere near to bail Marteen out. He could use his ultimate to escape, but wants to stick around.
30 seconds left.
Wants to look for his next duel, his next fight, and doesn't realise Ruxic was close. The Viper of Navi bailing out his team.
But it's SUYGETSU again. It's Angel on the other side.
Spike planted.
Molly at his feet, but supported by Ruxic now, and this one should not be winnable, but SUYGETSU's already done a boatload of damage. Cross-held solo by Hero, drops back.
He's the miracle maker, he's the man you want to depend upon here. And with the Viper's pit down, that's the biggest obstacle that he needs to try and get by.
He's looking elsewhere. Thinking about that next player, it's Hero.
Elite's ultimate. Still look towards mid.
Oh.
I was going to say that's a big duel, but that's even bigger. Koala finding SUYGETSU and an open up in A. saadhak at the same time is trying to find a timing here.
He just needs to hold on to this space towards screens. You've got so many strong ults to combine and cut back through. Absolutely no reason to overplay your hand, and he's done a brilliant job at just managing this space, which KC now backfill.
Yeah. Also, KC know about the late luck coming through kitchen from Ruxic. Oh, deals with Elite. This is now an even bigger problem from the French side.
Oh, it's Shao in the corner though. Push comes to shove, there was just nothing there.
Same entry that we saw from Marteen in the last half. It's Koala to do it this time, but they've not accounted for saadhak. Navi, get the trades though. Still worried about kitchen and a player potentially being deposited there. That was Hiro, and he's gone.
SUYGETSU yet to make his move back site. This is huge, and the spike is still not down.
Chance to deny that. Molly doing well. I mean, at the same time, trying to stall out using the Thrash, but the Viper's pit has bought a little space in which to work with. Even the lockdown will buy more. Angel trying to reposition towards Snowman, decides against it.
I think from this position, you can still sit outside the ult and spam if you're KC. It doesn't really commit too much space, and yeah, Angel is still sitting pretty here.
This is just defusing.
Hit now gone, but Marteen's gonna stick it all the way through. Oh, that's such a frustrating way to lose the round, and he will be. They've got utility to open this up, but that's very quickly removed with the ult.
Forfeiting the site to play from the outside. It's Elite that actually gets the kill, not Marteen, as he tried to play aggressive. This null command is denying all the utility that Navi would want, and the rifle's denying the players that they would want. 2 to the good now. But Navi still trying to play slow, and as they do, they just get completely cut down. Spike goes cold, does the round. Hiro has to clutch up here to even be within a chance, and with 10 seconds left, you would think it's B side. It's topsy-turvy. Well, they're going to use the Armageddon to clear that back space if you're Navi.
But there's such a small lane to actually play into, so that fragment's already done a lot, and KC are ready for retake.
Yeah, they're so ready. The utility straight back in, but that lockdown will buy a little bit of delay for the attack.
It's absolute chaos as utility goes traded. So quickly keeping tabs, Navi have little left for themselves. Angel's salvos is about as good as it gets. There's still flashes and stuns on KC's side to come back through.
Shao finding himself another pocket in which to work, and Navi supporting him in his endeavours. 2 players left, make that just a 1. It's up to the captain, the leader of KC, or it will be overtime, and I think there's a nice little... Oh my god, the swing out from Ruxic. Gets rid of Avez. At the same time though, Navi have cleared through mid. They've deposited a turret just to make sure no one else comes later, and they can focus completely on this side.
They're blind going in, but immediate suppression there to just stop this retake in its tracks. Tap of the plant from saadhak, waiting for the reply, and here it comes.
Players back in, Marteen, KC, 1 player to the good, still Spike knocked down, but don't necessarily need it. Winning out the deathmatch here, and the null command denies Hiro his utility, so he has to depend upon his rifle, in which he has been hitting his shots and continues to do so. A similar position in which from before, KC, saadhak, he's low.
Hero's heard the drop in as well, and saadhak, as you say, on death's door, needs SUYGETSU to trade off of him.
That's one flash in which he could set his Viper up, but instead finds the timing.
No way.
1 versus 1, but that flash is what put this pace extremely slow, waiting for that execute to happen. And KC have read into this.
It's a completely rehearsed execution. The mosh pit landing backside, but SUYGETSU following it up from close. Koala with a quick trade, but saadhak still alive. Looking to carry the rest of his team through OT, but it's Avez that finds the next kill. And one by one, NAVI drop. The spike is on the other side of the screen. Koala up top, but Avez knows it and nails the shot. Such a big kill.
And how do you even get this spike back? It's really difficult, but that timing's insane.
Individual play from Ruxic, more coming up. Elite there, and now Hiro once more. Can he find a way to do it yet again? The 19-year-old. It's ramp that's re-cleared.
As Hiro in the pocket, Shao. He found one, but that's all it's going to be. As KC now start to get things underway. On towards the A site you look. You've got to think about Elite deposited towards Heaven to just catch out a late lock, but NAVI are stopping KC. And
move of this rifle round. NAVI anticipating it. Crossfire placed. Marteen in play. TP available, but opts to go against it. It's Elite at his back, which fires 2 shots off, finds 2 kills. NAVI down to their last couple players.
Yeah, and the sound cue from the announcer showing that the spike is down in shops. The last 2 on NAVI, Angel and Ruxic, to try and fight back into this. Ruxic in towards the backlines. Angel has to try and come from sewers and has utility to clear players in the spots that they're in.
Without help in this position though, the in-game leader. It's a slow trickle of util out from the belt, but that is a tether. Avez has been spotted on the other side of the wall, but what do you do with this? It's nothing, it's just a distraction.
Yeah, he's baiting for Ruxic to come in to spot, although saadhak has identified what they were looking for, and now Angel left all on his own.
This is a round which has very quickly crumbled. Like sand, it falls through the hands of NAVI. Nice mid-jaw from Avez on the off angle.
Seen the fast trigger discipline, works well, but it is only one, and it's Hiro the Sentinel that's gone. Chance to maybe try and go for a flank here as Koala gains space in towards screens.
That first player gone, NAVI have the man advantage, but they don't have the space. I mean, you do still have Angel coming late ramp with this open plant, but there's no tower player.
Yeah. KC are quick onto the site to try and take the fight. Shao denies that. Hello, it's going a little bit topsy-turvy, but still NAVI. As they set koalanoob up, saadhak though, trying to find a little spot in which he can try and keep himself alive. Koala catches Avez, and there's more players there to fight.
It's just saadhak looking like him from elbow, crunch in from the vent position, but NAVI just know all too well.
Spike planted.
Spike comes down, Elite into the retake, gets his first 1v1 and takes Angel out of play.
Well, that Viper pit is still up, so if NAVI lose control of the spike, could get a little bit worrying. You still have the Astra util up, 4 stars on Shao.
And all the extra utility, but Elite wants in. What a statement this is. Viper's pit dropped, still not spotted. Had the molly out, was thinking about it. Gravity well, the expected response, still no stun, still no challenge. NAVI should be looking to take this on one player at a time, just means that they can buy themselves the clock as much as possible. Just feels like such a telegraphed play though, Cairo. So KC wait a moment before they pull the trigger and it will go off with a bang. Avez has 2, but he might need more. Gets his 3rd, can't get out. Ruxic with 2 bullets in the Outlaw finds 2 kills. And control of the spike back on the NAVI side.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, NAVI are taking a lot of it to get onto the site. They don't have enough to play around with.
I've not thought about this at all.
Absolutely. And it's Elite and SUYGETSU right behind as the spike looks to drop in. It's the player instead. Angel another up against Elite. First bit of damage goes his way.
Still has utility.
The captain to clutch it. And then around he goes to the corner. The spike plant tapped.
Marteen clears to fight. targets to hit, and he's doing so. Oh. He's got 2, and he's out.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. And then right behind it, you've got Elite 10 paces back, but Elite remains ahead of the curve, and that's where Angel will fail to clear him. It was a 5 versus 2, but Hiro gets one back in the conversation. Again, though, these players are so split up from one another, and you're asking for heroics again to win a round for NAVI.
I mean, these are the players to do it, though. 2 to fight Ruxic. Nearly gets a second.
It's just the one that he settles for, though, of which he is so capable. But will he be up to the task here to confirm that advantage on this attack half?
It would be a big round if he could do it. He's had highlight moments before. We think towards the GX game where it took him a long time to have his first death. To come up in a 1 versus 3 here, you've also got to consider saadhak has the Nightfall, which he will use, so Hiro loses a lot of health, decayed, and decides to go for an ultimate of his own. He fancies this as the players send it their way. The reaction's unreal!
That's right, the story as it was, they won all 4 pistol rounds. It was in the rifle rounds where they struggled. Moments like this make all the difference, and just looking back at it, I mean, there was no sound, so for Aves, just trying to get the element of surprise. Oh my lord. Zai's just reminding us that he has had a trim as the hat comes flying off the head.
To know when to use the X factor, and well, in this position, they certainly need it as they go to take these fights in mid.
Last time it was 2 kills for Marteen and a TP out, but on a round such as this, you're happy to get away with the goods. Anything that can just snowball the late round into something a bit more winnable, and he's even going to invest the ultimate.
Gets a rifle back in his hands though because he's using that dimensional drift.
Yeah, and the pass is the one that he had over to SUYGETSU. So with every passing second, this defense continues to get stronger, and that's the story of the B site. A 4th player pulled over, Elite on the approach as NAVI get ready to walk into this one like lambs to the slaughter.
Look at that little gap as well. SUYGETSU would have information to try and shoot through, but Koala's beating the smoke, and the gunfights, they're going Casey's way.
Quick trade, still numbers with the defense. Angel does get spotted, but look at Aves walking out, 15 seconds, still no plan.
And the spike's down cold. How does Angel get that back?
Blowing all the cash on a few different guns. This time it's the full, but it's Marteen again. How does he do it? Every round good for the 1 and still not down.
Ruxic trying to play up above once again, at least gets the trades out. So no more Viper utility on the defense.
And that has been a mainstay through middle in terms of how KC can dictate the pace of play. Hiro on another one of his signature lurks, and that's saadhak gone. As the captain is lost to the A site, it opens up completely for NAVI.
There's also a cosmic divide for the post plant to even buy more delay.
That's on top of what Hiro has already thrown to the deck. The wall, the thorns, and the flash in front. Fake out from Marteen to try and clear this early util, but the divide is up early, and NAVI are ready to receive those players.
KC know that they can't get out of CT, so they're repositioning for Heaven as a way of getting out, but at the same time, Cosmic Divide is denying them any sort of line of sight here.
Burning the wick at both ends, but knowing that this is all the time that they've got left. The util's gone in and done its job. Marteen trying to pave the way, hold the torch, but it goes dark. SUYGETSU, the last player standing, long-serving member of NAVI.
A 9-3 half, Marteen trying to be the one, the difference maker, but instead it's a difference maker for NAVI.
So quick to take the A site. Elite's already got a Sheriff, that's all he can have. Doesn't matter. After the ult, it makes no difference. Sui one back, still Heaven control, Spike going in, and look at Angel. Not Angel, sorry, it was saadhak on the other side. I thought we had some kind of a flank coming in, but no. It's all bodies as far as NAVI are concerned on A. And a retake which just doesn't feel feasible.
No, both players disconnected as well. How do you even get back into this one?
Short answer is no. Long answer is no, you don't.
Try and fight through. It's procced, and that Hero's got a chance. That was a right click.
And he was on top of the wall as well. It's not too often you see that played, but this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Game by game, his Vice looks to get better and better.
Angel, he's exploring an avenue in which you don't necessarily want to be in, and he's being hunted down at the same time.
There's a double tether there though, so has bought himself a little bit of space. Still no support. Angel, good for the first. Still, NAVI are so slow to follow this up.
Yeah, and if they try and execute in towards A, those storms that are live, as you've just heard, will deny them entry. 30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
But, I mean, damned if you do, and if you don't, go back to middle. That's where Ruxic is already waiting on this fence side. Oh, but the A-hold can't hold up its end of the bargain. Sui's found two. NAVI are on the other side of the veil. The curtain put up in their face, and the plant coming in open, even without that extra control.
All three players ready to play off one another, but that's a big kill from Shao. It brings it back even, and the last two remaining players on KC are low.
And out in the open, Marteen felt like a sitting duck, but quickly he responds. Shao, the healthiest of the players left in the server, looking at mid-approach, but taking the necessary steps. The Haunt clears vents, but Ruxic is here, and with his rifle in hand, that's Marteen gone, no trade.
Yeah, there's still support as well through koalanoob. That utility combo looked good, but
He goes, and to the spectator screen now.
there's a lot of ambitious plays coming through here. And will KC get control of the A site, you're looking at Aves in the position that he's found himself in.
It's just going to be calling KC back towards this side of the map, towards B, behind the standard lurk wall. They will go into vents. Hiro just about in position to catch on to this, but does he expect Aves? The reason for the rotation, a deep clear, but he walks to the open, and that's the advantage for the attack side.
Yeah, that could be the deadly blow on the round. 15 seconds, plenty of space to get this spike down. As for the two remaining, Koala and Ruxic, they have utility in which to work with. Most importantly, Koala's nade.
Smoke setup as well are going to completely estrange the main players. In fact, it's a little short of the mark. It's just to help cross into sight, and always the possibility of a player swinging back from outside it. NAVI are slow in their movement to the side.
But look at the crossfire, you can't really swing out into this.
Someone's going to have to soon though, surely not another full stick. Satchel coming in to push at least a player off, but the spike's already been halved, and that's where someone needs to step up. Someone on the NAVI side, it has to be Ruxic. Second smoke, but
Marteen close, did see Koala, but Ruxic hasn't been identified. He will do after destroying the fake out. Yeah, remember, the dimensional drift doesn't have as long as what it used to be, so the Nightfall comes in, and Hero's found a pocket. Trying to work it, make it go in his favour, but it doesn't. Shao does instead. Needs to win against SUYGETSU, and does, and puts NAVI at one player to the good. Trying to use his own star to make a pocket where he can walk, and does so. On for the ace, but it's Koala who's in the next engagement and loses a chance now for Elite to run to the other side of the map.
that's the green light. And in terms of what he has to work with, he still pocketed that poison cloud. One off the pit as well. So many tools to just play around. And Shao coming back into this, just a single star, and not much health to support it.
Viper's pit, and I mean, it's not as if you'd have much health.
Angel's just keeping half an eye on it.
Remember, Ruxic's still to make his introduction here as well, so this has been really good baiting out by Angel, and Ruxic's able to get two, but Casey, two back in the conversation. It's even after that engagement.
They have the tower control here as well, which they have so frequently enjoyed.
Shao, he's in a one and done angle. He can't really escape from there.
But KC have closed it off. saadhak looking to use his utility through this smoke, play around with the timing, shooting the Haunt mid-air is Shao, but still finding the kills. Koala has the ult if he needs it. Just to get that first round on the board, you might as well pull the trigger now.
He's also buying time for Hiro to get into position as well.
But Hiro doesn't want to go too quickly because he's worried that saadhak might have repositioned. Still 10 toes down on the B site. And as the showstopper goes off, he knows where Koala is. If he can find this kill, then maybe there was a...
Rotate in. KC had a free sight, they don't anymore.
The wall not yet tripped in that position. They know it's the flood out from main. KC get themselves on site. Without koalanoob, his trusty op, the support of player presence, it's KC that take this fight early.
Trying to go in towards CT. The ultimates now starting to come through, the first of which is the Steel Garden. Ruxic trying to use his own ultimate, and there's a pocket to work with. In behind the Cosmic Divide, KC aware of this, trying to respond. Marteen and the rest of the players fall at the same time. A distraction, but Ave still not...
They would like. saadhak the ult, 5 players through the mouth of main.
Outcome, Koala's op has been notified, and well, Shao found out as well. Ruxic's in! Oh, out of nowhere, out of heaven! An elbow drop onto the head of Karmine Corp, and Ruxic's still able to survive, and he has support as well. NAVI are looking to send this towards 12!
KC hanging on, just waiting with bated breath for him to peek in. And as he goes round the corner, with the dimensional drift, which they've just brought up through the ult point.
I like that though. You know, you go and clear out, but I don't think Shao's been found out there, and he finds himself in the smoke, close to players. Angel found out. That main fight's going to be a big one. Shao gets to Getsu!
Oh, and there's more to be had! Time is low and it's all on Shao. If he can hold this side of the map, then maybe it's enough for Hiro to come in and save the day again. But already taking on that responsibility, he finds the first and freezes.
Waits for his teammate to come in and support. No utility on either. Shao's star won't come back up on time.
I don't think KC fully realise where exactly Shao has gotten off to. Hiro with the flash to just lay this back up. It does get destroyed, and the drop-in not yet here. As he's finally spotted, Hiro responds, and this might just be how the second map ends. It's all on Marteen between KC and the decider. The first kill is his. The TP across and the time on his side. Shao has to stick it half. Marteen knows it. Biggest round in this series so far. And it's Shao again, who needs to keep his composure. One kill might not be enough, especially due to the fact there isn't players on site this time. Playing from tower, they'll keep the space at the very least, but
well, his nades have been pretty good in past, though.
Yeah, I think he needs an extra layer of support to find this kill. Instead, it just buys time. NAVI have made that rotation happen.
Yeah, that Nightfall still up and available for Angel. This retake could be pretty good for NAVI.
Aves hearing footsteps in the halls above. The Nightfall not going to catch him. Still not spotted. saadhak at a top draw. Here's Aves on to the next. KC coming up clutch in the rounds that they need. The elimination series. They head into the double stack of utility set up. Aves has the ult, but at the best of times, he's been unable to land it. Shao from the corner, finally spotted, still not taken down, and while Aves gets one in the meantime, Shao still walking away with one, and Koala gets his, but can't get out. Spike still not down.
The reposition.
And Ruxic right behind them. Oh my lord, he's only gonna get one for now.
Players trying to escape up ramp, they're not going to get a chance.
It's a 2-on-2, and Ruxic has taken it to their advantage. NAVI!
The last map of this elimination series.
But it's koalanoob gone back to this default style. It's through mid that they'll look to try and funnel the players, but koalanoob again delivers a bullet to the brain of Elite. This time he'll walk away with 2, but still the numbers NAVI.
Well, that door's dropped. You've got to be looking at Ruxic, who now becomes the Joker. In fact, they're going to open the door back up to let him back in. But both players are already out heaven.
Because I mean, there's a mesh set up, so NAVI looking to try and take this fight. It's a TP back towards main for Koala. Ruxic finding the kill. Koala looking with his damage and tears.
Yeah, but remember, 3 players of KC are here and ready to fight, and one of them is Marteen. Spike dropped, and Angel trying to recollect the spike gives himself up. NAVI, I mean, it's just been fallen to the wayside here. It looks like KC will have the response. Is that NAVI curse once again on the bonus?
This Hiro can do something about it. React here, they want to be proactive instead. Marteen into the fire and flames beyond this smoke. Is there support? It comes in the form of Aves, but it's just not enough. Not long. Be heading to Toronto, but I'll tell you who is, track by track, one step at a time. NAVI, not the ones that are putting a foot in front of each other too well here. It's a couple of missteps. Now trying to force the issue on B, but the setup is there. KC do well just to trade out an elite buying time from backside. Shao again. It's top draw, and with the spike down, there's still a chance between him and Hero. These are the players you want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got Sentinel utility to work with here as well, so Navi in prime position in post.
And the ult on Shao to set up Hero. Oh, it's blocked him a little bit from the initial entry, but he fans out behind it, and KC are caught with a blind eye, but still Hero can't do anything but damage. Can Shao capitalize from it? Sitting inside the smoke, the spike not shown, but as it evaporates from him, they pull the pin, the play is made, but that redistribution of the defense is towards the B site where the spike is yet to cross. saadhak in play, sprays away, 2 kills. Elite right behind it. The rest of KC there, reactive at the best of times, but the support, it's flowing through when needed. Koala was the first player in and looks like the last one out.
This is Koala's map though. I think he can do this.
I mean, I'm not sure if I follow
I'm
along.
walking into Aves here.
He can course correct on this eco, and well, Angels open it up.
Oh no!
A first kill for him, and it's the A-site onslaught with Hero slipping in between the lines beyond the barrier mesh. It's another kill. Could this be the NAVI eco, or does Marteen have something to say? It's this Vision Striker move that we were talking about earlier. Hero getting one. Reveal not on the player, but the fake out. Still Bucky in hand of saadhak.
Navi are walking right into this. Oh no!
Onto the Grand Tour, Marteen. Step into the show floor, first kill picked up. Flash through, oh, 2 would have been great. But with Ruxic removing him, it's straight to the boathouse he goes.
Love this, taking the space nice and early. KC though, are very quick on the mark.
They expect the site player from the TP, but still can't deal with him. In front of the line, SUYGETSU was looking for the spike.
Where are Navi going?
They're gonna reroute this just because they don't want to deal with that one defender. Fake in mid-pressure. SUYGETSU still solo.
He just got a chance to deny the spike.
He's so far ahead of this. SUYGETSU gets 2 kills. Ruxic last player left, and it's just fallen apart for Navi. At least step it in. To come up in playoffs would be everything, but SUYGETSU has been spotted. Utility, and they go back to the stack. Hero still here. Neural Theft dropped in. What do they do with this info?
I mean, they've only found the Cypher, and look at the reposition off the back of it. I thought they were going to run to B because only one player was found, but Navi slow roll out, and Aves is only able to get one elite though, finding his chance. But he's already taken so much damage, it's easy for Koala to finish out. Marteen getting one of his own. 2v2, tries to deny the spike, but it's not to be advised. It's not. Marteen.
Already had one go, and the next bite of the cherry is just as sweet. Elite following it up. 4v3 situation, and KC offered the reset.
Blades up, ready to go.
So that rotation is even quicker.
The read's perfect.
3 players in short. NAVI walking up and into trouble, into the face of danger. KC coming back in.
We've been highlighted it many a times for the past couple. The ultimates to be used.
So many ults. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown at this. Koala's just looking for a target to send that deadlock ult in. Spotted in tower. Marteen gets out. But I have to say, with all of this Sentinel util, now in post, KC have to go quickly.
Yeah, they need to be careful, and not only that, if they do go quickly, there's ultimates to deny, and well, first one in, still not got the Armageddon used either, but it might not be needed at all.
Through smokes, but as they clear out that space, A is where the push is coming in.
Navi well aware of what needs to be done, and well, they've stopped
Drag a player over, create some pressure. force NAVI to redistribute the forces, and there you have it. That's the response. KC get the reaction they were looking for, and sure, but still, Ruxic hangs around. Sheriff at his side, and Hero in support from Dice backside. The smoke now drops in the front, looking for the fight. It's Ruxic that has the first. Time is of the essence. There isn't enough of it. Hero still hanging around, and with that denial,
he comes up and wins the pistol round. It might only just be one round, but it's a massive one to get started.
So it's been dropped in towards B main, but that's not before both the salvos and the net had been placed as well. Still A under threat. The traps are here. Oh, Hero's been suppressed though.
It's massive. He managed to get a cage off, so hasn't been identified by the info dart. And gets one of his own. Koala's here to try and get some support, but Marteen continues on his reign of terror.
And Ruxic's still hanging around in main. They had to clear him or plant the spike. Less than 10 seconds once this comes in.
Yeah, this is going to be close, but didn't account for Elite. Did Angel 2v2 post plant, and NAVI looked to come out the other side the better. Elite from short has to try and fight his way through. Doesn't even get a cam. It's just going to be a defuse, and what a way to finally convert a bonus round, NAVI.
Sight. It's a drone to round the corner, it's broken, and this is the play. Koala taking it into his own hands, just one.
Yeah, that's all it is going to be, but the setup from the Cypher was good. Can't capitalise, and now it's Hero at the back of sight. He's been spammed out, they know where he is because he responded to the bullets sent his way. And now we go into a 2 versus 4. Ruxic trying to take a timing, but well noted. And now
it's the play against this NAVI side right now.
Especially when you have to find out where the Sentinel utility is, right?
They don't have to challenge 2 players to come in from short, but there is support from middle. It's koalanoob just facing by himself, and while Net's going to come in there, the salvos, do they arrive in time? No, Marteen dashes right out.
It's going to be a big duel in mid, most importantly towards the arch. Ruxic TPing to the other side. The spam coming through, but they can't quite find him. He's taking his time and they can't quite find the value.
RV ever evasive, but look at Ruxic. He wants to keep on going. Just the one kill that he picks up. NAVI still putting their foot down. 50 seconds or less. KC need to make a move, and in terms of space taken and utility dealt with, there is not much at all.
This is big.
Ava's just going to rip the ult. It's a hit and hope, so to B they go.
Yeah, but you see that. It takes all the Sentinel utility offline, and Hero's here by himself. He has no
30
support.
seconds left.
Still creeping closer to the site, taking their time. Hero to take that first fight onto Elite, and that really opens things up. Util back in. Hero has his second. 2-on-2, but it drops to Angel. This one feeling a lot more likely.
And has the grav net. One off his ulti.
Stop the swing from at least one of those players, and it's SUYGETSU dead in his tracks. To the corner he will remain. Peeking back through though, and you can see with the position here of SUYGETSU still hanging around in A main, there's definitely a view to take this one back into the stack.
I mean, at the same time, koalanoob brings out Dimensional Drift, looking to clear out and find out where players are, and well, they're going to head towards A, and this is where the utility is.
As I said, just raising that question mark in middle, but now you're heading into the utility. It's the Hunter's Fury to try and gut out some of that space in the back. Ruxic gets hit, and SUYGETSU follows it up cleanly. Koala still here, and he's found his first. The salvo's in. How much time is there? Spike plant has to happen, and it's Dice where it'll go.
Got to be thinking about Marteen still in towards mid. He could play late upset, perhaps a win condition, but the retake, we look at the annihilation from Angel to be the big win con here.
How can NAVI flood out? Entrenched in the heavens, still waiting for this smoke to expire, but it's time instead. Those final grains dropping to the bottom of the hourglass, and that's where Marteen starts to reveal his position, buys a little more time, because, well, I tell you what, KC are going to need it on their side. Hero's starting to work on the defuse, and stepping in Marteen may be a moment too late. It's gone all the way through! An issue for NAVI to deal with. As soon as they take mid, NAVI are dropping back that defensive line. into Boathouse, but this time there's support. The mesh is there, and so's the sensor. Marteen still with blades and an updraft. He fires himself over the top of Switch, but it's only going one way for now in the feed. Shao gets his 2. Can Angel find 2 more? He's got the first. It's a trade out 2-on-2.
Look at how low saadhak is. He at least has 1 info dart to try and know anybody. He'll get the information he needs, but how long is he going to be able to survive?
Makeup going through lane, flash behind it. saadhak just hiding underneath the rail right now as the lane walk-up comes through from Koala. Elite, the healthy player. We have to depend upon him again. KC, the blue wall could crumble under the pressure of NAVI as they're putting it on. Elite has withstood at least that first player, but he has to go big where the rest of his team couldn't. To move on in their stead for KC, Stage 1 hopes and dreams.
This one. They're from the UK.
That's true. And in terms of how we carry on in EMEA, it's Koala that starts things off. Shao finding the next. Could this be the round for NAVI? Sui has responded. It's still a player advantage with the
Cypher cam for contact. Sonic sensors round about him to create a support network, and he's calling to his team. I've seen players on my cam. They're in short. Where does KC go here? There's a gap in towards tree, and that's exactly where they find to opt to go.
The question is, are they overcooking this a little bit too much? Because, as I say, bunkers on both sides for NAVI. Less than 30 seconds in the plays through spawn. Ruxic watching over it, but as soon as that penny drops, there's problems for KC. Elite can at least solve it with a kill for now, but this is so chaotic, Cairo.
It is, and look at this, the Omen ultimate used to try and clear out Hero instead. Found by Elite's rifle. His opposite number, the Sonic sensor gives the game away, but look at the deposit in mid. SUYGETSU could be massive here.
Hearing the steps all on SUYGETSU, gets the first, and over his former captain, the wool is pulled over his eyes. Elite was just sweating when that sensor went off, hoping that the spike could go down, and now that KC have it, it's a split deck completely. 1 player main and 1 back from short. All of this heard by Elite. Koala straight into the... Be running into player traffic just yet because Shao has shut it down. Then by his side, drone comes in, it gets the info, and that's the reinforcement. Angel needing the duel, winning it. NAVI in position. This rematch from the first game of kickoff, looking to go NAVI's way. A second time of asking. koalanoob in backside, so much support. KC are cornered.
Looks like they are.
You can barely get back past that mesh in main. The setup's over on A. Where do you go?
It's the question that saadhak is trying to answer right now as they wait. Let's see if NAVI try and dry peek into the rifles, holding the angle. Remember, there's still 35 seconds to work with here.
This from Ruxic as well, just another spanner in the works, playing around his own smoke and looks to take this fight on the chin, closing in. NAVI in position! 30